Hey everyone, welcome back, and if you are new here, this is where we break down every twist, every discovery, and every jaw-dropping moment from the curse of Oak Island. What was the boulder hiding? That is the question that has been consuming the Oak Island team since the moment they committed to raising it. A 40,000-pound boulder, sitting on Lot 8 like it had been placed there with deliberate purpose, like someone, long ago and fully aware of what lay beneath it, wanted that secret to remain buried for as long as the stone could hold it down. The Curse of Oak Island Season 13 Episode 18 is called Breaking the Seal, and what the team uncovered underneath that boulder is the kind of discovery that redefines the entire scope of the search, forces everyone in that war room to rethink what they thought they understood about this island, and makes 2 centuries of accumulated obsession feel not just justified but entirely, absolutely inevitable. The boulder was not a geological accident. It was a door, and this team just opened it. For more than 200 years, Oak Island has operated on the same principle, maddening and irresistible in equal measure. Every answer it gives you arrives wrapped inside a new question. Every layer peeled back reveals another one waiting underneath. Every feature uncovered points towards something deeper, something older, something placed here with a level of deliberate sophistication that still resists easy explanation after all this time and all this digging. The Lagina brothers and their team have spent years learning to live with this particular rhythm of revelation and mystery. They have learned to treat each discovery not as a destination but as a direction, a new bearing to follow, a new layer to begin peeling back. And the direction this boulder is pointing toward is unlike anything this island has shown them. Lot 8 has been building as a focus of serious research for some time. It sits apart from the money pit, away from the swamp, in a section of the island that has not received the same sustained excavation attention as the central zones that have defined the search for generations of researchers. But the evidence pointing toward it has been accumulating: geological readings, historical indicators, the kind of patient signal that experienced researchers learn, over time, to take very seriously. That evidence says Lot 8 is not a footnote to the Oak Island mystery. It says that whoever came to this island centuries ago and built what they built did not confine their work to one shaft or one specific area of ground. They used the whole island. They engineered across an entire landscape, thinking in systems far larger and far more deliberate than any previous theory of the Oak Island treasure has ever come close to fully describing. Moving the boulder was not a casual decision. 40,000 pounds of rock sitting in a specific location on a specific lot of an island already proven to be one of the most deliberately engineered sites in treasure hunting history. That is not something you move on instinct or optimism alone. You move it when the evidence has built to the point where not moving it becomes harder to justify than committing to the full weight and complexity of the operation required to lift it. The team brought in the right machinery, planned the operation with the precision it required, and prepared themselves to whatever extent preparation is ever truly possible on an island that has always found ways to surprise the people who work it for what they might find. When the stone finally came free of the ground that had held it in place for 3 centuries, and when it came free, and the earth beneath was exposed to daylight for the first time since it was sealed, what the team found changed the entire direction of the search: a man-made feature. Those 3 words, spoken carefully over the open ground on Lot 8, carry more weight than almost anything else this team has said across 13 full seasons of working this island and everything it has put them through. Not a natural formation, not the accidental product of geological processes beneath a heavy stone. A feature created deliberately by human hands in this exact location, in a specific and purposeful relationship to the massive boulder positioned directly above it for centuries. Something shaped and constructed with careful intent by the same caliber of intelligence and planning that engineered the flood tunnels under the money pit, shaped the swamp to serve a broader protective design. and distributed structures and indicators across this island in a deliberate pattern that continues to reveal itself piece by careful piece. To the people with the patience and resources, an absolute refusal to stop that this search has, always and only rewarded. Think about what it means that a feature like this was built directly beneath a boulder of this size. Someone moved 40,000 pounds of rock into position above it, not accidentally, not incidentally, but deliberately, because the weight of that stone was the most effective seal they could place over what lay beneath. That is not the behavior of a group working quickly or carelessly. That is the behavior of people who understood exactly what they were protecting, who thought carefully about how to protect it, and who had both the means and the manpower to execute a plan of truly considerable scale. The feature points downward, toward a shaft, toward a tunnel, toward a passageway descending from this specific point on the surface of Lot 8 into the ground below, connecting, possibly, to the broader underground network the team has been mapping and theorizing about for years. Every measurement is taken, every photograph recorded, every observation documented with the care that the moment demands. Because what has been sealed beneath that boulder for longer than the United States has existed as a nation will not survive rushed or careless handling. The team has one opportunity to read what this ground has been holding in trust for 3 centuries, and they intend to do it right. The questions the feature raises do not yet have answers. How deep does it go? Where does it connect? What was placed at the bottom of it, or along its concealed length, by the people who constructed it and then sealed it so thoroughly beneath 40,000 pounds of stone? Those answers remain underground, as patient as they have been for 3 full centuries. But the questions can now be asked with physical evidence to support them, and that changes everything about the search. This is no longer theory built on inference. This is a fact in the ground on Lot 8 that the team can measure and document and follow all the way down. In the war room, the weight of what Lot 8 has just revealed settles across every person in the room. If this man-made feature connects to the broader underground system mapped across the island, then the infrastructure built here is more extensive than any model the team has developed across 13 seasons of research. This was not one desperate group digging one hole. This was a coordinated, sustained, large-scale engineering project built deliberately, across an entire island by people who fully intended what they buried to remain buried for as long as stone and earth and water and the sheer accumulated weight of time could keep it safe. Rick, Lagina stands over the feature and says very little. That is the response of a man who has been present for enough genuinely significant moments on this island to understand how to receive one. He looks at what is actually there, and what is there exposed and undeniable in the ground on Lot 8 is enough. Physical confirmation that this part of the island holds a central piece of a mystery that has been hiding in plain sight for 200 years. Protected by weight and time and a stone that nobody before this team had both the means and the determination to move. Marty Lagina does what Marty does when the island makes its priorities clear. He calculates efficiently and without sentiment, working out what comes next, the equipment, the timeline, the resources that need to redirect toward Lot 8 now that Lot 8 has proven its case without question. The season has time remaining. The ground is open. The question now is not whether to go deeper into what the boulder was hiding. The question is how quickly this team can get the right equipment into position and follow the feature all the way down to wherever it leads. 230 years. Expeditions that arrived with hope and returned without answers. Generations of searchers who gave years and in some cases everything to this island, driven by the conviction that something extraordinary was buried here with extraordinary care. Every single one of them was right about that. What they lacked was what this team has: the technology, the resources, the expertise, and the relentless, season after season commitment to go as deep as the island requires. The boulder was the seal. 3 centuries of earth and silence and 40,000 pounds of deliberately positioned stone sitting over a secret built to outlast every search ever mounted against it, protecting what lies below through every expedition that came before and every searcher who ever walked the surface of Lot 8 without knowing what was directly beneath their feet, until this team, until this season. Until the day they moved the stone and found what had been waiting sealed and silent and completely undisturbed in the ground below. The seal is broken. The ground beneath Lot 8 is open for the first time in 300 years. And what has been hidden down there waiting through all the centuries that saw the world above it transformed beyond recognition is within reach.